Sarah, I knew you looked familiar.
Don't listen to him.
Tell him how you know me.
You're not getting out of this night alive.
There's something about home invasion thrillers that never really loses its grip on audiences. A single location, no easy escape, the sense that once the door closes, survival becomes the only objective. But every now and then, a story comes along that flips the rules so aggressively that you're forced to question who's actually in control. That's exactly where Misdirection wants you to live. When I first heard about this project, one thing immediately stood out. This isn't just another break and gone wrong thriller. This is a deliberate mind game, a carefully constructed trap where perception is just as dangerous as any weapon. And with Kevin Lewis behind the camera, that idea suddenly becomes very interesting. Lewis, who previously unleashed the bizarre chaos of Willy's Wonderland, is stepping into much darker territory this time. The absurd fun is gone. What replaces it is tension, paranoia, and a slow-burning psychological duel that feels designed to keep you guessing until the very last frame. At the center of Misdirection is a couple running out of time. Sarah and Jason are drowning in debt, boxed in by consequences, and desperate for a way out. Their solution is simple on paper. High-risk robberies, one final job, enough money to disappear and start over. It's a familiar setup, but the film doesn't linger there for long. Their final target is David Bloom, a powerful and well-connected defense attorney living in a high-tech luxury home. Everything about the house screams security, wealth, and control. For Sarah and Jason, it's the ultimate score, the kind of place that promises freedom if they can just get in and out clean. At first, the plan works too well. Then Bloom comes home early. From that moment on, the film shifts gears. What should have been a clean escape turns into confinement. Doors lock, systems activate. The house becomes less of a prize and more of a cage. And that's when the real story begins. The title Misdirection isn't subtle, and that's intentional. The film constantly challenges what you think you understand. The couple believes they're trapped with their victim, but the deeper they move into the house, the clearer it becomes that nothing about this situation is straightforward. Every room feels designed to confuse. Every decision feels like it's being anticipated. This is where the neo-noir influence comes into play. Misdirection isn't just about physical survival. It's about manipulation, control, and psychological pressure. Kevin Lewis structures the story around the idea of the hunter becoming the hunted, but he never makes it obvious when that switch happens. You feel it before you see it. Frank Grillo's David Bloom is a huge part of why this works. He's not portrayed as a helpless target. He's calm, calculated, almost unreadable. From the moment he enters the story, he feels less like a victim and more like an obstacle. Someone who understands power dynamics better than the people who broke into his home. Grillo thrives in roles like this. His physical presence alone adds weight to every scene, but it's the restraint that makes Bloom unsettling. He doesn't need to raise his voice. He doesn't need to explain himself. The house does most of the talking for him. Being trapped inside a technologically advanced home creates a unique kind of claustrophobia. There are no windows that feel safe, no doors that promise escape. The environment itself becomes an antagonist, tightening the tension with every passing minute. It's not about jump scares, it's about pressure. What separates Misdirection from other films in the genre is its tone. Lewis brings a stylized darkness that feels intentional rather than flashy. You can see traces of his previous work, but everything here is more grounded, more controlled. The chaos is internal, emotional, strategic. The performances elevate that atmosphere even further. Frank Grillo is exactly where he belongs. Known for his work as Crossbones in the Marvel Universe and his gritty presence in projects like Tulsa King alongside Sylvester Stallone, Grillo understands how to sell physical threat without turning it into spectacle. His version of Bloom feels dangerous because he doesn't rush. Opposite him is Olga Kurylenko, bringing a different kind of intensity to the film. Since breaking out in Quantum of Solace, she's consistently gravitated toward roles that blend strength with vulnerability. Her recent appearances in Marvel projects like Black Widow and Thunderbolts only reinforce how comfortable she is in high-pressure, physically demanding stories. In Misdirection, her performance carries much of the film's emotional weight. The fear isn't exaggerated, it's measured, controlled, and that makes it far more believable. Oliver Trevena rounds out the central dynamic, and the chemistry between the leads plays a crucial role in selling the desperation of their situation. This isn't a glamorous crime story. It's a portrait of people making the wrong choices for the right reasons and slowly realizing that those reasons may not matter anymore. As the story unfolds, the line between reality and illusion begins to blur. The film constantly hints that what we're seeing may not be the full truth. Perspectives shift, motivations are questioned, and just when you think you understand the rules of the game, the film quietly changes them. That's where the tension really comes from, not knowing who has the advantage, not knowing whether escape is possible, and not knowing if the danger is coming from the house, the man inside it, or the choices already made. For fans of cat and mouse thrillers, this is exactly the kind of story that thrives on patience. Misdirection doesn't rush to its conclusion. It wants you uncomfortable. It wants you second-guessing every assumption. The film is set to release on February 10, 2026, arriving on digital platforms and on-demand services. That release window feels perfect. This is the kind of movie best watched late at night, lights off, with nothing to distract you from the tension building on screen. In the end, Misdirection looks like a film that understands its genre and chooses to twist it rather than repeat it. Strong performances, a confined setting, and a director willing to lean into psychological discomfort instead of easy thrills. If you're looking for a thriller that plays with perception and refuses to give you easy answers, this might be one to keep on your radar. I'll be watching closely when it drops, because stories like this aren't about action alone. They're about control. Stay sharp, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.